Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, guys, we've been home from the Tennessee rally for a couple of days now and really haven't done much recording. I already had that ride video that we'd recorded before that rally scheduled to go out. Yesterday, we actually started doing some projects over at Zach Michaela's house, putting in a mini split, and I completely forgot to record it. We're not done with it. We're going to go try to finish it up today. But this morning, Talon and I are over here at the shop, and we've got a little project. I need to build a little shelter here to put some waste oil drums, but I got to get these trees out of the way, and there was all kinds of metal and other crap in the way too. So we've been using the tractor with the forks on it to get rid of all the tires and a lot of this like metal stuff that was stacked here. And now we're going to take down this little group of trees here that have overgrown. These trees aren't supposed to be here. This property just hasn't been maintained for that long. And we got to be careful because our new power wires we ran into the building run right through there. So I'm probably going to top the trees first. They're not very big. And then that way just got a smaller tree to lay over and not take out the lines. All right, so I cut down just some of the low hanging branches. They were just right here, literally hanging on our head. I said, because of these power lines, I want to get up and cut some of these other branches down first before I try to drop the actual tree. So we've got a pallet and a piece of plywood over there. I can't reach them all, so I'll probably have Talon raise me up to where I can knock some of these small ones off on the next go around. All right, guys, that was a little bit sketchy. So we had the pallet on there, and Talon had raised me up, I don't know, just 10 or 15 feet or so I could cut the tops out of these. But that one you see leaning this way, when it dropped, and that one is cut, but it didn't want to lay all the way. So we'll have to pull them back out of there. They wanted to go towards the power lines. So I'm up on the pallet. I'm cut almost all the way through my hinge, and the tree wants to come back to the tractor. So I'm pushing on it. I got the saw out of it, but I couldn't push it enough to get it past to break that last little bit of hinge without me putting so much oomph into it that I was afraid I was going to fall off of the pallet when it went. So Talon actually climbed up with me. He held tension on the tree. I finished the cut. But then even still, it got caught up. By the time we pushed it off, it just came straight down. So this isn't the safest thing to do. Don't recommend this at home. But I think this one, we can lay that way, even if we use the tractor to push it a little bit. That'll be the last one that's really in any danger of hitting the power lines. Well, it definitely looks more open. We've taken down quite a few trees, none of them overly large by any means, but just stuff that was in the way of the power lines. I'm taking 5 right now. I knocked the chain off of the saw. The chain's too hot to touch and put back on. I actually burnt the back of my calf too. When I went to turn, the chain flopped around and just slapped me in the back of the calf, scalding hot. But I think we're almost done here for the day. Got a few more that I've cut that Talon's still taking with the tractor over to the big burn pile to be burned at a later date. I think you got 2 or 3 more, just small ones. I think I'd like to chop down today, just kind of over towards where that telephone pole is. Not these here, they're all on the other side of the fence. That'll be another day when we clear out that side of the fence. All right, well, I think we're calling it quits for now. We got a few good hours in. Now, what I also didn't show that we accomplished this morning before coming over here was, well, this 7.3 Power Stroke engine sitting here. This is one of the original motors out of the Excursion, and it had a ride knock in it years ago, so I replaced it. But I've always wanted to rebuild this. It just hasn't been in the budget or the schedule. So it's been sitting in that shop at home for many, many years. And with me moving everything out in here to the new shop, Michaela needing that space, I needed to get out of the way. But I've always kind of fought to move this thing around and had it slid underneath the workbench. So I decided just to take a pallet, mount it to a pallet, block it up with some good 2x6s and 4x4s, and anchored it. That way I can just pick it up with the tractor. Now when I need to, with the forks, move it around, sit it on a trailer, take it wherever I want to go. So we did that this morning, which took a couple hours of, building all that and getting it over here. All right, so closing up the shop now. We also moved this thing over. You guys remember I built that months and months ago, and I just now moved it over that hole because we're going to build a roof over it. We've got, like I said, a lot of this over here cleaned up. I mean, I don't know if you can tell from what it was at the beginning. The trees were all up in the power lines, and now the power lines are running through the middle of nowhere. So I'm happy with that, but it's enough for today. So now we're gonna head back out to the house, gonna get some lunch, and then I think we're gonna work on Zach and Michaela's air conditioning just a little bit more. All right, guys, back at the house, eating a little bit of chicken tortilla soup. It's Taco Tuesday, but I got no tacos available, so chicken tortilla soup it is for the moment. And I got some good news today about a future project. Well, it's a project we already have, but a future plans on it. I might give you guys a hint of that in a little bit. All right, guys, that is your hint for the upcoming project. It's going to be a little ways away still, and that'll be on the other channel, the Amsel Adam channel, not the Homestead channel. You guys, we've had the struggle bus for a while now. Been trying to find just the right parts to do what I want with it, and some of those parts just arrived. Now, back to doing this air conditioning unit for Michaela and Zach. Yesterday, we set the outside unit. We ran all the lines. We hung the inside unit, got all the connections made there. We ran the lines, the drain line, and the wiring down here to the outside unit. But by then it had gotten dark and we called it quits for the night. So now this evening, hopefully before the sun sets, I am connecting up the refrigerant lines and we're gonna finish the wiring. We also had to install, right there, a new disconnect box right here, wired into the breaker box inside the house. We still have to put a whip on for this THN wire to go over to here. I just didn't want to do it all last night, so I knew exactly where this is going to sit. That way we could cut it to length. It looks like our lines are just about perfect. I'm fighting a little bit to get them lined up down here, but I've got one started. Time to get the next one. All right, so I've got the large line on. I'm just trying to snug it up, and then I'm going to line up the top line and get it started. All right, guys, I got involved and didn't record everything, but yeah, all the wiring is now done. Got a whip going from here to there. The control to the inside unit is wired in. The lines are on. The drain line is just dangling here, and so is that line. So Zach is gonna zip tie all that stuff up and make it all work. And then I recommended he get some vinyl gutter. He can split the back of it, and that way he can kind of encase the whole thing. It helps protect it, and it makes it look better because you can paint that to match the trim of the house. Instead of just having hoses and lines running down, they can all run through that chase. Get secured to the house properly. Bada boom, bada bing, it's done. Well, technically it's not done. They still gotta have an AC guy come out to pressurize the system, vacuum it down, and then the technician can release the refrigerant that's already in this unit. So they don't have to buy any refrigerant, but you don't want to just open it and release it now because the air that's in the lines due to installation can't have moisture in it, especially in the humid area that we live in. And that moisture mixed with the refrigerant sometimes can create an acid from what I'm told, and it can be really bad for the system. So yeah, vacuuming it down, pressure testing it before releasing the Freon is important. So I'll have to call an AC guy out to do that. I'm going to try to find the phone number of the same guy that I called out to do Goliath when I put the mini split on Goliath a couple years ago. All right, so it's about 7:15 p.m. now, and yeah, we're starting to look like a used truck lot over here. And yeah. But anyway, I'm really excited that we got the Dodge, and really excited that we got the AC unit done. We got cleanup done at the shop. We actually got quite a bit done the last 2 days. I don't know that we're gonna have another homestead video before we head out of town. It is actually Wednesday. I know I said it was Taco Tuesday earlier. but I wasn't. I missed Taco Tuesday yesterday. No tacos on a Tuesday was sad, but I digress. We are leaving on Sunday to head down to Daytona Beach. It's assuming that Daytona Beach is still there after Hurricane Milton. So there may not be another homestead video before then, but hopefully we guys will see you on the road pretty soon. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until the next time I see you, keep those engines running.